Pleasure's all mine.
It is all mine.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
This is Nevermind The Facts. This is a comedy debate show that is a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be watching it on video.
Yes. I am Miles.
I am Nate. And so every week we're going to take a random topic from history and debate it between each other. And may the best man win.
Yeah, and our deciding person for the whole entire podcast that is a guest every single week. We have a new guest every single week.
Yes.
A New York comic, typically. And our first guest today is going to be Chris Deshawn.
Chris Deshawn. Hello, Chris.
Fellas.
Welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here.
Do you understand the rules of the show?
I do. So yeah, the gist, you guys are going to debate some historical stuff back in the day, and then I'm going to be the judge, jury, and executioner. Going to see which one of you guys actually knows what the hell you're talking about.
Yes,
So
that's correct.
Yes.
You have
That's
the
everybody
rules
did.
down.
Yes, exactly.
You do.
All right.
Cool. I feel good. You feel good?
I feel
Feel
really
good?
good.
All
I
right.
feel really good.
Let's start off. So we got a good topic today. Ian, would you like to introduce the topic?
So, the topic today is going to be, are pirates good?
Are pirates good?
Are pirates
Pirates good.
Good.
good?
Like, historically.
Okay.
As in, like, morality-wise,
Mm-hmm.
were they good people? You know, how did they, like, what
Mhm.
was...
What was the general morale of
Right.
pirates?
Right.
Were they
Disney
good
made them look
people
good.
or not? What?
I said Disney made them look good.
See,
I'm
that's
going off of
a
that.
great point.
See?
That's a great
Right,
point to
right.
start.
Okay.
Right? But British guys with powdered rigs would think differently. back
That's
then.
true.
Mm.
Let's
Right.
do this. Let's get into the history of pirates first, and then we'll start to make our opening arguments
Yes.
here. So, where did pirates come around, Ian?
They came around like, okay, first of all, okay. They've been around since like the Greek times, right? Like technically, but
Right.
the ones that we know, that's like the drunk guy, that's the Jack Sparrow.
You think of like
type of guy?
a Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow, Johnny
Uh,
Depp type person.
Yeah, I would say probably around circa 1650s.
When was ancient Greece? Around that time, pirates came
right.
around.
Yeah, that's probably around
Mhm.
that time, right? That's the same time. It's
Mhm.
back then. So around that time, what was going on is like the European empires were like expanding, and they were fighting each other. And while they're like fighting each other, they were like, well, we need some help.
Right.
We need some help. So they started hiring other people to be like, hey, go rob these guys out at sea.
Rob them
Okay.
blind. Yeah.
Just rob them. Like Spain, England, all of them. They were just like, hey, just hire a dude. We're gonna
Thieves for
hire
hire.
you. Yeah, we go.
Basically.
You do whatever you want to them,
Okay.
right? And then that's what they just did. And that was basically, they were called privateers.
Okay.
And that was the start of piracy. And
Mm-hmm.
then after like all the Europeans were like, hey guys, there's enough land and people to kill in that land for all of us. So we're gonna stop fighting each other.
Right.
And then they were like, hey, privateers, we don't really need your services anymore. And the pirates were like, well, fuck you.
Right.
What are we gonna do? And they were like, well, here's an island where you can just kind of set up and chill. And they were like, well, this sucks. Like, we just get an island. That's it. And
Yeah.
Right.
so they start lashing out.
Okay.
And then they start attacking merchant boats from every single empire, basically.
Okay.
But
So
who
it's
were
payback? They were lashing out.
right?
Basically, after they got cut off.
Right.
Okay.
And a lot of
It's like
these
a-
people, correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, but a lot of these people were like lowly people, right? Like they weren't like big missionaries. They were like lowly people who were doing a lot of this.
Well, we can get into the argument eventually.
Right.
I wouldn't say that they're lowly people.
Lowly
I would
people.
say
That's how I
that-
categorize them. They were lowly people.
Yeah, you're very lowly people.
Good for nothing.
Good
Pirates.
for nothing pirates.
I would say that it's a mixed bunch of people from different backgrounds.
Okay.
That's what I would say. Some could be lowly.
They're for
There is
diversity.
there is historical fact that
They were a diverse group of people. Yes.
Diverse group of people, but also I know one position. It was the navigator. The navigator for sure was probably the most intelligent person on that. I mean, come on, it's the GPS system. Oh, I mean, you have to know where you're going. GPS. You have to know where you're going. Okay. And that guy was the smartest guy on that ship. And the empires would pay a large amount of money to have somebody that's that smart. For whatever reason, kidnap you. For whatever reason, them being on that ship, mostly kidnap, they would be on that ship to navigate. Or not mostly. I wouldn't say mostly. Sometimes they were kidnapped. Other times, they were probably the most highest paid pirate on that ship.
Right.
So.
All right.
Other people, like other ships who were not pirates, sailing along, you see a pirate ship coming. Back in that day, you would almost just surrender your ship when you saw a pirate coming, because the last thing you wanted was a pirate you're going to be killed, essentially. Yeah. So a lot of ships would actually just, around this time, just surrender just to avoid being killed.
Have you seen The Wire?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Okay, so there's a scene. There's a scene in it. There's a character in it, and he like literally robs drug dealers.
Okay,
and he literally sometimes would just walk through the neighborhood, and they would just drop their money out the window, so then they wouldn't get. So then they wouldn't get robbed because he would literally like cap people in their knees or whatever. He would do like brutal things to them. Yeah. It's the same thing that pirates would do. They would do the most brutal things, and all they would have to do is they would have to either fly the Jolly Roger, which was like the one thing that they would fly is like the Skull and Bones, which is Jolly Roger, or the unpopular one was the red flag. Right. Literally the red flag. Like how we say, oh, red flag is up. That's where it came from. Right. It was a pirate's coming to get my butt. Like that's basically what that would mean.
You feared
pirates coming to get that booty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You feared being anywhere near a pirate.
Right. Yeah. And they loved the clout. So
they do.
I think that's enough background for it.
Yeah, it's enough background. Do you feel like you at least know what a pirate is?
I have a better understanding now.
Okay.
On the deeper level.
Oh, I mean, okay. Well, here's another case of history.
Yes.
They were bad with money. Here's the other thing. They didn't bury their money. Like that was the one thing. It's a myth.
That whole
you think
marks
the
spot thing never happened.
Never happened.
Like,
it was very stupid that they did. Like I think one did, and literally one did in history. I forgot his name, somewhere in my notes. But he buried his stuff, and immediately his crew went to an empire and was like, "Hey, he stole that shit, and he buried it right here."
Wow.
And well, he put in X.
The dumbest
he put in
X.
Wow. It's like.
So whenever they do that now, they're just shitting on this guy. It's like this in memory.
All of pop culture.
It's
like
it's
you
the
did something
biggest
that's stupid.
It's the biggest fuck up.
And they brought.
Yeah.
Where'd my money go?
Right. No, he got immediately snitched on, which is hilarious. Yeah. I think it's enough history.
Oh
wait, no. One more fact. Again, they were bad with money, so what they would do is they would pull into port, and they would immediately give them. They would literally go to a brothel, and they would drink a lot. And that was not an embellishment. That wasn't a Disney thing that they did. They were really drunks. They were really people who like to have sex a lot.
They love that.
And that's just what it was, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, you're on a train. You're on a train. I'm in New York that long. I'm just saying. Does it move? It's a train. No. They're on a boat for so long. Yeah. So like it happens. Yeah.
They're on tour.
Right.
It's like the rock stars.
Well, certainly women were allowed to be pirates, right?
Well, okay, I don't like the lean back. I feel like you're telling your side already.
Okay, yeah, okay. No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Were women allowed to be pirates?
So it really mattered about. Okay, so we're not done with history. Right. Each boat had a code, right? And each boat had whatever code on that boat was. It was on that boat. So, I forgot the one. Crap. There's one famous pirate, Calico Jack.
Right.
The shit that you drink at home, right?
Yeah.
His boat actually had women on his boat. Okay. His best man, his right hand man, was his girlfriend, And
that's cute.
her girlfriend was on the boat too.
Okay. Right.
And actually, it's funny because like whenever they got caught, she was talking shit. She was like the only reason, and he got beheaded. And and after
very
he got
casually.
beheaded,
Oh, by the girl?
No, by the Empire. By the Empire,
God,
they captured him.
Oh,
and she's like at the
savage.
execution. Literally, she's at the execution, and the reporter showed up. And he's like, "How did you feel?" And she was just like, "Well, if he was a man and he would have handled his shit, we wouldn't have gotten caught." Literally verbatim what she said, and then he got chopped. Like it was just like that. It was boom.
Wild.
Yeah, right on the news, right on CNN. It's swear to God, CNN was back then.
Fox covered it way different.
Yeah,
At least
they
they got looking at it.
Like it was a literal fox.
Yeah. Fox was like all these dreamers. No, okay. No. I think that's about it with the history of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not, but like I'm very
There's
sure.
a lot.
Okay,
There's a lot we could go over.
Let's put up a disclaimer. There's people that love history. I love history. He loves history. We're not going to get it all.
No, we're not going to get it right.
We're not going to get.
We're not going to get
too
half
much.
of it right.
There's too much.
There's a lot.
So, yeah, if you're
So
going to go, actually leave it in the comments. We're not going to see it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pirates are complicated.
Okay, so
Pirates are
let's go to.
Yeah.
They're very complicated.
Exactly.
I'm serious.
Now that I didn't even know all that.
Yeah.
And look, and you thinking that's funny when you mentioned Calico Jack. I'm thinking like I actually know that person, but like no, it's only because of the liquor.
Right.
Only because of the liquor.
Right.
Yeah,
Even though that
exactly,
was
right?
Real
Right.
pirate and
Yeah.
Him and Jim? What's the other one? The
Jameson?
No, not Jamie. Was he a pirate?
Jack Daniels.
I don't know.
Jack
Jack
Daniels,
Daniels.
that one.
Jack Daniels,
You
most
got-
likely. I don't
No,
think
that's
Oh,
the
see, I don't
whiskey.
know.
That's
whiskey.
the rum. The
Yeah.
Captain Morgan.
But-
You got a little cap. The guy.
Yeah,
Captain
the
Morgan
guy
is
was-
definitely a pirate.
that was a
He's
real
definitely a
person, too?
pirate.
Was he a
Yes,
real
that was-
pirate?
Yes,
I
he
didn't
was a
know
real
that.
pirate.
What was he?
He's definitely a real
How
pirate.
did he handle his shit? Did he get beheaded?
I
too?
don't know
He was-
actually. I didn't
kept his
research.
pirates in mind.
There was so many pirates to research, and I just picked out Calico Jack and Blackbeard.
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 I'm
How
telling
come he
you,
don't got no liquor? That's
he probably does.
like that's what he's the most famous out of all of them.
I mean, you got
Yeah.
the Blackbeard,
Like
so you can sell
yeah,
it.
that's-
you can
Put
sell the
my face
Blackbeard.
on it.
Yeah, I didn't research a lot of them because there's millions.
No,
of
there's
them.
too many.
Yeah, and then you start to get
And
into
all-
the Asian circuit, and it's like Jesus Christ, there's so many over there too. It's crazy.
Right.
You know they had Asian pirates.
Huh?
They had Asian pirates?
Dude.
Oh,
I didn't know
definitely.
that.
For
One
sure.
of the best ones. One of the best ones was a woman,
Yeah.
and she tore up the whole entire Chinese dynasty. And
Mhm.
she sunned them, and then she went.
Oh.
She destroyed like half of their shit, and then after like she was about to lose, she bent the country to its knees so much that she went to the emperor after like half of her shit is dead, and she was just like. And he was like, "Hey, like we're at a truce, right? Like you destroyed half my shit, I destroyed half your shit. We're done." And she was like, "No."
And she kept.
And
kept
then she like
destroying
literally, she was like,
everything.
"Keep on riding."
Yo.
She kept,
Yeah.
she was like, "Keep on riding." And they were like, "What do you want?" And she was like, "Okay, I want my 2 ships. All of my guys are pardoned. They get to keep all of their shit that they stole, and we're pardoned too. Like me and my husband, which
Right.
is also her son. Anyway, weird.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo.
Doesn't matter.
Buried the lead there.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But-
pirates are nuts, man.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, they ended up like bending to her, and she ended up living happy ever after with her ship,
Okay.
with her son.
Yeah.
And they made more babies.
Could you call them that?
I wish I had
Humans
names.
came out of it.
I wish I had my names correct. 'cause,
We have
like,
one page.
I
Of
know
notes.
somebody's right.
We have one
I
page
know
of notes.
somebody's gonna be like, "Who's that?" Actually, no. Okay, no. Her name is Ching. Oh God. I cannot. Chung. One. The I and then so. I don't
have
okay,
that
so-
page. I don't have the page.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry. No,
I'm
sorry
not
I
even going to
mispronounced it.
attempt to try to say what you.
Right. It's here. It's here. Yeah.
Cheng Sao?
Ching So.
Cheng Sao? I think it S-A-O would be Sao.
Cheng-
Okay.
Cheng
I could
Ai
be wrong.
Sao.
I don't know anything.
I'd be wrong.
Okay. So
All right.
okay, let's get on with the debate.
Okay.
Your
So
side?
now we will inform you and the audience of our side. So
Yeah.
the debate is, are pirates good people from a morality
Yes.
standpoint?
Yes.
My stance is no. I find there is empirical evidence to suggest that pirates overall were bad people.
A distaste for them.
I have a distaste
For them.
Yes.
Yes. And I believe that they were actually good for the environment,
Okay.
for
Okay.
they were just good people morality wise.
Got it.
And I really do believe that. So,
Okay. Well, let's hear about that first. So good for the environment. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear.
How are pirates fighting climate change?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't mean it literally. But
are they part of? They wrote the Green New Deal. They have anything?
Yeah, man. The pirates were like big on like solar
Yeah,
power
listen.
ships.
That's how they had to power them ships one way.
Listen, no, but for real, I believe they're just good morality wise.
Good moral people.
Good moral people.
Okay.
Okay.
So first. All right,
let's go.
Let's start with this. Okay, Chris. So far, any questions? Is there anything you'd like to address out of what we just talked about?
What you just like like the background of the pirates.
Yeah.
No, I think y'all covered it pretty well. Even though you said they were Asian pirates. That's.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's blowing your mind.
I can't wait to see this debate.
Yeah, because you think of them like with like peg legs and eye patches.
Yeah,
which is actually accurate.
It's accurate, but not all of them
that.
had peg legs and eye patches.
Well, I mean, if you want to go through all the injuries that they would have regularly, dysentery, typhus, scurvy, malaria, yellow fever, syphilis, and tuberculosis, and dick rot. So like,
rot.
Okay, it's basically syphilis. But that was just common.
Yeah.
Like you would just the one thing that they found on Blackbeard's ship was a syringe that they would use to insert into the male member and to inject whatever medicine into that to get rid of syphilis.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So, what medicine? What made them think that would work?
I mean, it did.
It did.
I mean, he was still alive for a while. He didn't get taken out like Al Capone. Al Capone had more medicine and technology, and he died from it. Blackbeard was like, I'm not getting taken out by that. He lit his beard on fire. He was like, I'm a gangster, and he still never got taken out. Like, I mean, like this guy's amazing.
Okay, so here's my first question for you, Ian. Would we agree that crime overall is bad? Would we agree that? And that's the only question I want you to answer right now. Overall, generally speaking, would we say crime is bad?
That's a loaded question. Because and here's the reason
break it
why.
down.
I will say I agree with that with an asterisk.
Okay.
I will say that sometime you have to do crime for the greater good.
Sure. I would agree with that too.
Like Robin Hood, on some Robin Hood shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, right?
Okay.
That's how
I didn't say it. My jury said it.
Like, especially you said these pirates in the rundown, you said they were a little jaded. You know, these merchants, they kind of cut them off. You said they just strand them on this island. Said, you know, you push me to the margin, get a little upset. That's why they come back. They steal from the rich. I don't know if they gave it to the poor amongst themselves.
They didn't.
They kept it to themselves. But I mean, still, would say you're stealing from the rich.
Well, I mean,
that's the theme these days. They eat the rich, right? Like they've been doing that.
He's making an argument for me. I
understand what you're saying.
I'm just
But what rich are we talking about here? Are we talking about? We're not talking about Jeff Bezos rich. We're talking about like I have 4 gold bars rich. Like that's the kind of rich that they're stealing from.
I mean, but that was
you get a lot back then.
That was basically what I guess what Jeff Bezos rich was, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. I mean, back then they were launching ships instead of what is Jeff? Well, not Jeff Bezos, but Tesla. I mean, the guy that
Elon.
Yeah,
Elon
he's
Musk.
launching ships into the sky. You know, like it's
but that's way different. Like what Elon Musk is launching ships to like expand humanity, not to.
Are they not doing the same thing?
If someone robbed
with that,
if someone robbed Bezos blind right now, well, I guess his wife did. Took like half his shit, but no one felt bad for him when that happened, right? Like, no, it's just like, oh, okay, like what is he, like a trillionaire, and now you're like half a trillionaire or some shit, like you
right?
Know, it's like we're not, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Thank you,
computer.
I think people felt bad as a man. You know, like as a man, it's like
for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, okay, whenever something happens to a celebrity, it feels like it happens to the demographic that it happened to. Yeah. So whenever you're like, oh, well, I'm getting sued. I mean, I'm not getting sued. I have to pay alimony to my wife, $500 billion. That guy feels that way. He's like, hey, I went through a divorce and I have to pay half of whatever I have. So I think we're going off topic. Let's
I
back.
still think there's something to be said there.
Okay.
Oh, Okay. No, I was just saying if you want to go back, your question. We started with this because you said, is crime bad? Like,
Yes.
Right. Or do you think?
Yeah.
I think crime is inherently bad.
Okay.
And if we're talking about a group of people that is notorious for committing crimes, I can't understand how to the point that they're not doing it for they're not like stealing to like give to good causes. They're not stealing to like do X, Y, and Z for the betterment of humanity. Right? I think like modern day crimes where we're revolting against like people like Jeff Bezos, which is why I brought that up, and why like I don't feel inherently bad when something bad happens to that particular person. I don't think that is equivalent to pirates.
We can agree that crime is inherently bad.
Right.
I'll concede to that.
Okay, yes.
I'll concede to that. But I'll also acknowledge my asterisk, which was sometimes crime is done for the greater good of humanity. I'm just going to say that too.
I agree with that too.
Okay. All right, so we can agree with those terms. Go on.
So what were pirates doing so yes, they were committing crimes. They were committing crimes against humanity.
Well,
but for what greater good?
Okay, so here's the thing. It's by the definition of those empires. So if you want to start it off, how did they start? They started off privateers that were pirates. They just called them privateers as a proper name. And a empire allowed it to happen under their laws. So a crime is defined by the defiance of a law.
Is it though?
By definition,
slavery used to be legal.
I mean, yeah, and by law that was okay. Like a lot of things.
But we're still saying from a moral perspective that slavery was bad. Yeah. Nobody's gonna argue that.
But back then, the morals were different.
What are we talking about? Like, we're not gonna ever look back to people who owned slaves in the 1800s and be like, well, the laws are different, but they're still good people.
I mean, some people are making that argument, but I mean,
are we making that argument?
We're not going to make that argument. We're not going to make that argument.
But that was what was brought up. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah. I mean, I would have. You went too hard. Why couldn't you come with prostitution?
You went right for slavery there.
It's a bad habit.
Went with weed. You could have went with weed, man.
I'm just saying that yes, it might have been legal, but we're talking about. Are they good people?
Right.
So are we judging that based off of what the law says or like morality?
Okay. I mean, I'm letting you roll. I'm letting you build your case. I'm letting you build your case.
Maybe I'm talking too much. Yes.
No. I want you to talk. I'm letting you build.
Okay.
That's what I'm just saying. I'm just doing rebuttals to keep it going.
That's a law strategy. It's like let them talk. A law strategy.
Yes. A law strategy.
A law
for the lawyers at home.
A law strategy.
We're using technical terms. Okay.
Okay. That's all. That's my first point.
Okay. All right. So. You were talking about morality-wise.
Yes.
Were they bad? Now, the great thing about pirates that we kind of touched upon was that they were diverse. During slavery, during hatred towards Jews and Indians and women and other minorities, a lot of them accepted them. They were like, hey, slave, hey, Jewish person, hey, woman, come on board. We'll accept you no matter what, as long as you adhere to the rules that's on this ship. This ship is a democracy. You can vote for everybody. You can vote for whoever's captain, whoever's fit enough to run that ship, and we're gonna allow you to do your thing.
Right. Their HR checked all boxes.
Right. So is that not
because they had HR.
Is that not, audience, ahead of its time? To this day, we're still fighting about this. But these men and women that were on this ship that learned how to teach a parrot how to talk, they were so ahead of their time that they were like, we're going to make sure that everybody is equal, that everybody gets equal pay. Equal pay, my friend. Opposed, unless if you were the navigator. And the captain, they had to earn that because they had to look up the stars and we're next to Detroit. They had to know. They had to know where they were right away.
Yeah.
So, is that not what we wanted all along? I think that they're ahead of their time. Now, here's the other thing. Not all pirates. Well, okay. Most likely they did do a lot of attacking. However, they did attack ships to set a standard and to say, hey, whenever we rise that red flag, just surrender your stuff. Because honestly, pirates really didn't want to do it all the time. They weren't like, let me kill you guys. Just hand over your stuff. We were going to kill you enough so then we get notorious enough, and then you hand over your stuff.
Okay.
So now, like, whenever you see me now, hey, just hand it over. Like, I just want the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just want the money.
Build that clout.
Like, just, exactly. Build the clout. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
The defense rests.
Right. Chris, I'd like to make some counterpoints to everything that is. Okay, so
Love to hear him.
So 2 points here, right? So Ian's argument was that we should be praising a criminal organization for diversity, right?
Okay.
I think we can all agree that diversity is an important part to society, right?
Yes.
But do we think we should be praising any organization simply for diversity? Or should that be the status quo? Yes, it might have been ahead of their time, but should pirates be praised simply for what should have been the norm for the last 1,000 years? That seems like it's now the norm over the last 40 years.
Okay, so I'm going to make a counter argument to that.
I rest. Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead. Yes.
Have you seen Star Wars?
I have seen Star. Which one? This the first one?
It really doesn't matter.
All
Every
the same,
single
all
one
the
of them
same at
are
this point.
basically the same. Besides the prequels, because like that's the building of Hitler. But
What the fuck?
the ones after that, it's the rebels, right? And they're fighting the Empire.
Yeah.
Now, what are the European empires literally called? The Empire, basically. You know, get the Spanish Empire, the British Empire, all of them. It's basically an allegory for pirates at this point. Now, in the eyes of other civilizations, these guys were the bad guys. Are we not wrong? I mean, like the British, Germans, all of them. So, like, in a weird way, yes, they are committing crimes, but are you going to condemn Luke Skywalker? I don't think you will. Also, I didn't add that they also had gay marriage on their ships, too. It was really cool. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I cannot pronounce the word, but it's like matelinage. But basically, if these two pirates could do whatever they want. Doesn't really matter. They didn't really care. Hey, no judgment. Hey, a little bump in the night doesn't bother me. And if one of them dies, they inherit all of their stuff like a proper marriage should. That's all I'm trying to say. Again, they're ahead of the time. And yes, they were stealing from people who have. The jury rests. I mean, not the jury. I mean, the defense.
Yes.
The jury rests.
Don't claim this like you're defending.
I'm just going to take a minute.
So there was a lot that was said there. I'd love to touch on the point that so they were notorious for so one of your points that you made earlier was as soon as they see them come, they're going to surrender, right?
Yes.
And you claimed that was a good thing, right? It's like, hey, we don't want to kill you,
right?
But we're going to become notorious for being bad people. That's essentially what you said. Is yes, at this point we're so known that we are a group of terrorizers. To the point that, hey, we're going to give you the courtesy of surrendering to us. I think you framing that in the light of let me talk to you, Chris. Right. I think the defense framing that as a good thing is actually the most harmful thing that he said today. Is should we be and praising people and calling them good people for you being scary and evil and demented? Should we be praising people for having that personality that everybody knows about? I would argue no.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say that it is the way you framed it. You did make it sound like, okay, pirates. Yeah, we're bad, but we do have some mercy. Like a lot of times, I didn't even know about the red flag. That is just like, okay, we won't kill you. Just give it the shit because you know what it is. But yeah, you step out of line, we will kill you. I thought it was just kill all the time and give me your money. So
sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, y'all are assholes for killing us and taking our money. So Yeah, I'm on. I'm side with Nate on this time. It's like
I'd rather you. We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but
far,
you're officially on this side for right now.
Yeah, I'm leaning. I'm leaning Nate.
Okay.
I prefer you didn't rob me.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so let's talk about morality again.
Let's talk about morality and what it means to be a moral person. Yes.
Okay. So to be a moral person, first of all, let me go back. Let me go back to the red flag situation, right? The red flag situation. Now, there are animals in the animal kingdom that have certain colors or certain looks to them. Let's say a certain kind of caterpillar, right? Yeah. Bright orange, has spikes on it. It's saying, hey, don't bother me. Don't come near me, right? Yeah. Don't come near me. There's certain like tells, right? And these people decided to raise that flag and say, hey, we're coming. Just hand over your stuff. You can even put it in the barrel and throw it over to us. Like, you can do that. Like, it's like, hey, listen, we're coming. It happens, right? It just happens. You're not losing anything as a shipmate. Yeah. You're sailing for Walmart right now. You're not really losing anything, right? Like, it's insured, right? Yeah. It's insured. It's not the crewmen aren't losing it. They're not going back to the Empire, and the Empire is like slapping them in the face. It's like, hey, boom, okay, now your family's dead. And by the way, even if they did, it kind of tells you how bad the Empire was. I'm just trying to say, but at the same time, they weren't like that. So at the same time, the pirates knew that, hey, the crewmen on the other ship, they're not really losing anything, right? They're not really losing anything.
The pirates knew the crewmen on the other ship that they were about to rob. Hey, they're not losing anything.
They're not losing anything as in like the merchandise that they are shipping over to wherever they're going to.
Right. It's not theirs.
It's not theirs. Yeah. So like, why are we... Like, let's be honest here. Like, who's really losing anything? Is it the common man next to me, or is it the powdered rig guy up top, the Illuminati guy? Like, he's losing something, and he has a lot.
Stealing from the man,
right? He's the guy that's really losing everything. So who are we to say, fuck you, pirate? I think that those are good people in a way. I'm not saying that every single one of them is good, because at the same time, you can look at a soldier, you can look at somebody who's working anything, really. I mean, like, are they morality good? Not really, but as a overall rainbow of an organization, I would say that they have progressive ideas. They're very progressive with people, which back then they were not progressive at all. So I saw people as a normal person. That's my argument. That's why I'm building it on, is the fact that whenever they go to this other ship, they don't see a scum. They don't see anybody who is like, I want to kill in a mass amount of people. I just want to take your goods that are replaceable. And if you don't hand them over, we're going to have to kill you, because, by the way, this is all we have. This is our ship is our country. This is all we have. This is all we can live off of, because the work that we were provided was taken away. Our jobs were taken away. It wasn't taken away by COVID. It wasn't taken away by the Mexicans. It was taken away by the lack of warfare. And they built us. Yeah. They built us on that idea. They put us out to sea, and then they took it away after that. They threw us away like a handkerchief after watching Brazzers.
Oh, man. Just balled them up, all crusty in the corner, forgotten about, lost forever.
What would you do? What would you do if your job just threw you away after they built you, put you through college, made you learn how to learn everything? And then they were just like, hey, we're done.
Just like that.
Just like that. But
I
what
guess
you
I
were
start
taught
robbing
to do.
people too. I guess by that, like,
and you're damn good at it.
Forget, fuck everyone else, huh? We just gonna,
and you were taught to do that. They built you to be that. They built you to be that under the law of them.
They did, and they abandoned you. But I got to take it back to one. I got to take it back to one point. But you opened up your argument when you said you compared it just as back to the flag thing. That there are some animals out there, right? In the animal kingdom, they're like exotic looking, or like that's how you know they're poisonous. And it's like those animals that they do that So that means don't fuck with us or leave us alone, and we won't come. But the pirates, they when they do the flags, like we're fucking with you. We're coming to steal your stuff. We're the aggressor in the situation. You know what I mean? They're on the offensive. They're offending. These animals that are dangerous animals are defending themselves by just keeping, staying in their own lane.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever else they got going on.
Right.
Like the pirate. So that's what I mean when I say like the pirate. They're the intrusive ones.
Right.
They're committing acts of violence.
Let me strike that part of the argument.
Okay.
My overall argument would be to say that they came to a agreement with themselves that, hey, we were thrown aside.
Yeah.
And that we didn't have a shot after that. We were taught to do what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
We had to take a pause because we're letting another guest. To conclude my point, I just wanted to say that these people were conscious, were at least conscious, because they could have just rolled up. Actually, okay. No, okay, yeah, they could have just rolled up. Okay, no, I have to be honest. There were some instances where pirates would disguise themselves as other empires and then roll up on them and then rob them that way. But again, they would always give the crew a chance to hand over the stuff first before they killed. And here's the other thing. Okay. Do we not? Do you hate the American troops?
I don't hate the troops.
Okay. All right.
Now you're on record.
No, hold on.
That's a good stance to have.
Yeah. So what am I supposed to say when you ask me that?
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Right. Okay.
Can I object to that?
People at home, do you hate the American troops? Send your vote.
We'd like an
to
email.
1033 American.
All right. You're persuading the audience.
Okay. So you don't hate the troops, right?
I don't hate
now, what happens if the government just like, hey, we're just done with you? Like, and all they've been able to do is just kill. That's all they know. It's just to kill.
All right. If you were in the military and they just
you're gone. There's no pension. There's no nothing. You got an island if you want to live on this island, which was a tight ass island. There was a whole bunch of and this is like the Spanish.
I think that's what they did to the non-vets for Vietnam. They were like the worst.
They just didn't they didn't care.
On drugs, doing heroin and stuff, and they got back.
So do we condemn those people that go aim for drugs? These guys actually rob just to get drunk, because that was the only way that they can get drunk.
They were go-getters.
They would go get drunk, and then they would go to a prostitute, and then they would have sex and give money to those women who were doing sex work. Which, again, I am telling you, that is progressiveness that we are looking for today.
All right.
I just want to tally, again, gay marriage, the acceptance of all races, and I'm just saying sex work. I mean, like, that's improper sex work. And even they were sexually conscious. They were making sure that their male pieces were clean by cleaning up their syphilis. That's all I gotta say.
Probably wouldn't have a cure for syphilis if it weren't for pirates.
I mean, I wouldn't say all that, but I would say that they were practicing good. I don't know about. Okay, let me not claim that they were practicing good safe sex, because they probably didn't have condoms.
You have condoms back? No, they didn't.
Well, I mean, the Egyptians kind of did, because they would use sheepskin. And I don't know. But anyways,
regardless,
Why sheepskin? That's go on.
Somebody had to come up with it. Somebody was like, I don't want a baby.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna wrap some sheepskin.
I know that was the Stone Ages, but there had to have been something better than another piece of flesh from another animal.
This isn't what we're arguing.
We're not arguing this at all. Okay. We're going off topic.
Do you rest?
I do rest. That was a long run.
That was
great. I will rest for a very long time.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to talk. That was great.
Sorry,
I thought that was great. And I thought that set me up for a W. So, So let's work backwards, Chris. Right. So let's start with this point about and you mentioned it too, the Vietnam War and our troops, right?
Yeah.
I think we can all agree we kind of treat our troops like crap after they get home. We always have. It's always been like a staple of American tradition that, hey, you know what? You fought for us. We're not going to pay you back. And that sucks. And that's terrible, right? Yeah. I think it's just genuinely we don't treat our troops the way they should be treated. How many troops after Vietnam actually ended up killing anybody in the States after they came back, regardless of that we treated them like crap, right? The argument was that, hey, these troops, like back then, like they're all they know is how to kill. All they know is how to, like, that fighting, that urge, and that instinct. But people nowadays don't do that. Yeah. I think that's kind of ridiculous. That's my first point. Second point, yes, these people were abandoned. These people that ended up becoming pirates, yeah, it might have seemed like their only option, but we can't say that being a pirate and resorting to a life of crime and destruction and killing was the only option. You're telling me that the only other option was for them to be a pirate? No. Maybe they did have like that killing instinct in them and say, hey, you know what? I could probably do this. I would argue that does not make somebody a good person. If your initial instinct is to be like, I'm going to join a group of people that is just going to kill and rob and steal, I think that's my second point. Third point, the red flag argument, right? Yeah. The argument has been that we are doing other people a service by waving a red flag, say, hey, just so you know, give us your stuff or we're going to kill you. And the argument is because we did that, we're moral. Think about animals, right? Yeah, and the point has been made about some animals will do that, right? Like snakes can like turn different colors, like frogs. Like frogs will emit like a different color because they are specifically dangerous frogs. Yeah. But a frog's not doing that intentionally. Animals are not doing that intentionally. You brought this up, Chris. Yeah. That's a defensive mechanism from an animal's perspective. Yeah. But from a pirate, that's offensive. And that's the destruction. And those are my points.
Okay.
I rest.
So I have one quick rebuttal.
Go ahead.
My one quick rebuttal was that the argument against like Vietnam vets not killing back then, right?
Right.
There was a structure that rehabilitating people back into American culture is like, or American soil, is that okay? There's jobs that are offered. There's different things that are offered. I feel like back then, the caste system, let me not say the caste system, but the system was a lot more rigid and harder to come up in the ranks of whatever social status it was back then. I feel like it was harder, and whenever you coming back and it's just like, hey, you don't have anything to show for other than to possibly, if they're offering, to join another ship, if they're offering. And that's a, you know, like if you're like a navigator, you're in high demand. You know, like you're the highest on Craigslist. But the other guys, it's like maybe take you, leave you. You know, like where are you going to go? You don't have a house. You don't have a home. Where else are you going to go? And this is all the life that you know, is being on the sea for years. Just being out there. Yeah. And that's all you know. Like, it's not that, like, I'm not trying to excuse that's that killing is right, but at the same time, if you were taught that back then, like here, like now, like if you come back to American soil, there's other things that you can be exposed to, and you like, again, like it's like whenever you're filling out a job application, which I mean wasn't during the Vietnam War. I will not say that you would be able to do that in Vietnam War whenever you were going to ride in. And it's like, hey, were you a Vietnam vet? You know, I mean now it is, but like back then probably not. But there was some type of system that we had. Yeah. But back then, I don't think that they did. I think that they were just like, hey, have a penny. There you go. See you later. Like, I don't. Yeah. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I'm just trying to say I'm not trying to say that they are. Oh, yeah, I'm saying that they're good people. I'm going to say that they're good people. I'm going to say that they're good people.
Okay. So you're saying too, there was like no government welfare thing in place for people back then? Okay.
No.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Of course not.
Yeah, there's not.
Of course not.
Because there's no government-sponsored entity that's an excuse for killing people?
that's all that they know. Like that's all they could do for money was to do that. You can't go from being a pirate to then becoming a miller, which is somebody who grinds grain together to create bread.
Yeah, it's an honest job.
That's an honest job, but you were built to do that. Now, again, privateers were doing an honest job.
Yeah.
In a way, which was, hey, go and attack that empire's goods, their merchant ship, so that we will have a strategic edge against our competitors.
Yeah.
And that's all they knew. And then once that was taken away, all they can do is, if you're a miller, you make bread. If you're a killer, you kill bread. I don't. No, you kill. You
just stab your loaf.
But again, I raised the argument that like the red flag meant, hey, we really don't want to kill you. Like we know that's all we can do, but we're giving you the option. This is all that we have. You just have a job. Just ship it, and we might rob you.
What questions do you have?
Okay. It's not really a question. I don't know if this really brought up. I'm just thinking now, you know, the modern day pirates, the Somali pirates. I just want to know hear y'all take quick on that. Like
good question.
What got them, you know,
good question.
into it? Now,
because it is a vague. What we did raise is a very vague question. It wasn't strict to a specific time.
Right.
So you're asking about Somalians? Keep counting.
Yeah, just a Somali. Now again, you know, this is America, Somali. You know, the infrastructure and stuff is they resorted to that, but they're also in the modern world. You know, do you think that even over there they could have resorted to something other than just this, you know, violence and robbing? It's mainly French cruise ships. Well, I don't think they killed as many.
And also Asian, Chinese, certain ones.
Oh, them.
However, okay, sorry. Are you done?
Yeah, I rest. I just wanted to throw that out there quick. It just got me thinking about.
So my understanding of Somalia, I also have a Somalian friend. Shout out to Haji. What's up? If you're watching.
Hello, Haji.
You don't even know him.
No, I do. No, what's Haji? Let's say his last name on 3. 1, 2, 3. Marcus.
No.
Oh, we were pretty close.
You had the M.
You were looking at my lips. That's what it was. You were trying to see where it's going.
We've been friends.
Haji Marcus.
Yeah. No. He's a filmmaker. From my understanding, and I'm gonna butcher it, but I know for a fact that first of all, Somalia has a horrible government system that does not take care of its people. There's always warfare. Between blocks, there's warfare. Okay. But also, what's going on is a lot of cruise ships, a lot of shipping boats, a lot of ships are going past their shore and dumping some type of radioactive sludge, some type of stuff that's into their water that is literally destroying their the food that they can fish out of the thing. So that's why they go out to attack the ships and say to fuck you to anybody who's doing that. Yeah. It's just like, hey, like we don't like you dumping this stuff in there. Yeah. Now the rest of the world is like, well, we don't want you to do that, and it's like, yo, but you don't have to destroy our food infrastructure. Yeah,
like we could have had an honest living here, and you fucked that up. Like you
exactly. So again, piracy happens whenever you don't have something, right? Like whenever you don't, like it's not because like, well, I just feel like killing somebody. No, it's we don't have anything. So now I'm resorting to my animal instinct. That's what we do whenever we are humans. If you're up in the Appalachian Mountains, would you eat your friend that died up in the Appalachian Mountains? There's no food source in the world anywhere else. You would. Yeah, sure. That's just what you do. You resort to survival tactics.
Objection. That is not you're not comparing apples to apples there. That
you just said apples to apples. I'm just trying to say you didn't even say oranges.
We went from Somali pirates to eating people.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. No. But I'm saying that like for Somalians, they don't have a food source. Yeah. So like they're like
got ruined.
Yeah. So like they're like, okay, so we don't have fish is a huge food source of ours, and since you guys are dumping stuff in there, it's polluting our stuff, and whenever we eat it, it destroys us. Yeah. And nobody cares about that. Yeah. But they only care about whenever we go over there, and then we capture one person, and then all of a sudden everybody raises their hands. So like I've rested. That's basically what I would say for the Somalian pirates. Right. Shout out to Haji.
Child hygiene.
Child
And that
hygiene.
wasn't even a topic either, so I'm not even going to.
Well, it was part
Technically,
of it.
technically,
No,
it
that
is.
was a
Technically
great
it is.
question.
No, that is
That was a
question.
great question.
It's vague enough
Okay.
because we're not arguing a specific time zone. It could have been for the Greeks. It could have
Yeah.
been
For any-
from here till now.
Okay.
It could have been movie piracy. It could have been anything really. I mean, like, yeah.
My argument stands. It's the same thing. It's yes, I understand the animal instinct from like the haves and the have-nots, and like I am going to criminally take what is not yours, right? And we're talking about Somali pirates. We're not just talking like cargo ships. We're talking about cruise ships too, right? Like we're talking about other people that are affected because of decisions made by some people, right?
Yeah.
Somali pirates can take different avenues in life. I cannot be convinced that being a pirate is the only thing, only option, the only avenue in life for a Somali pirate to succeed. And I rest my case.
Okay.
I rest.
I think I rest too.
I rest.
Yeah.
I rest.
I
rest.
I rest.
All right.
It's Sunday.
Both resting.
So
It's
let's
Easter
make.
Sunday.
Yeah, it is Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's what we'll do. We will make closing arguments.
Okay.
We can go whoever goes first. Doesn't matter. And then you, Chris, can take a second, give your overall thoughts, and the last thing will be you decide on a winner
Okay.
after here. So, would you like to go first, or I can go first?
You can go first.
I'll go first. Chris, you've heard a lot of good arguments here today.
Yeah.
A lot of
That
things
feels
that
good.
my opponents said are 100% true. I think pirates were some of the pioneers in diversity. Gay marriage is huge. I
Yeah.
mean, think of another organization back then that was offering gay marriage.
I know that.
But the issue is whether these people were good people. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the morality of these people and the fact that my opponent thinks that this is the only path that a lot of these pirates could have taken with their lives. You and I both disagree with that. There is no opportunity. There is no chance that this was the only path that these people could have taken.
Yeah.
And so many things point to why they were bad people. We're going to put up flags to say, hey, we will kill you if you don't listen to us. That's really what that flag meant. It wasn't a favor. It was a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rest my case.
Okay. My closing argument. It wasn't easy to be a pirate. The one thing that I researched also was that their diet was very hard leather meat and flour bread, right? And it wasn't a favorable lifestyle to have.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like this is a joy for them to do. This life was hard. Again, we listed out all of the diseases that they could have had. Sometimes it's very arguable throughout history if they had a medic on the ship, and sometimes they would have to like cut off an arm and like just like pray to God and hope to just seal it off and just there's a lot of things that they would have to do to survive in this life. And again, it wasn't a willful criminal. It was somebody who was left to, that is their only device that they could have done, is to gather together a group of men that they trust and say, hey, this is the code. I accept anybody who follows this code, and we are going to survive. And that was it. This is a system and a time in history where they did not care about the common man, and the common man raised their middle finger to that establishment and said, I'm going to care for these men.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Okay. Both cases are rested.
Both cases are rested.
I am rested.
All right, you got your final say? All right. So, jury, I'm going to bring down my verdict. I'll start by saying, do you know this whole pirate thing, the way that you described it, especially Miles, it reminds me of saying, I didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose me. That's basically that, but on the sea.
Sure.
That rhyme. But that's how, that's basically what happened with the pirates. And they maybe had they were maybe well intentioned. You know, good people had good hearts. You know what I mean? But and we romanticize pirates. You know, it's cool when you think about it, and there's TV shows is. You know, Pirates of the Caribbean. I love One Piece. I'm still trying to watch all that. I'm obsessed with pirates, man. But
we picked the right guy.
Yeah,
we picked the exact right guy. We had a whole bunch of comedians.
Yeah,
we were
I'm is Luffy and them bad? It's like I don't think they're bad. He didn't kill nobody for real. They just just trying to find the One Piece. And they'll never find it. But at the same time, it's. Like you said, they had a strong sense of community camaraderie. They were very progressive with the the gay marriage stuff. Yeah, female pirates and leaders as the captains and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And especially back to you're talking medieval times or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
But and they're doing that. But just the act, if they just would have channeled that into something.
What
more
could they have done?
Positive, something they could have got creative. Figured killing people. That's like the last.
What are they gonna do?
You've rested.
Yeah,
You've rested.
That's
You've
what,
rested.
Like,
You gotta do Grubhub?
No, and not or a virgin. He could have. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Buy this food from us, or we'll kill you. I don't know. Like when you talk about killing people, when you talk about banding together and threatening, even if you didn't kill them, if people still know you had the potential to do that, if you're literally a red flag. It's like that's
Okay.
That's You did that. There was an opportunity there. I think as these group of misfits basically banded together, they could have done something for a greater good. But I think they did it more for themselves. It's like I don't know. It was for personal gain. It's like killing people. I think it's kind of exciting when I compare it today. You see the difference between looting and rioting, the loot. When you loot, you still break in these stores and stuff, and you take it for yourself, and you keep it for yourself. And when you riot to send a message or whatever, when people break things, it's just like you're just breaking things. That's how I compare it. I think pirates are looters. It was self-serving. At the end of the day, even though they got pushed in the margin, people pushed them away, but they kind of just return that same violent energy back. And two rights don't make wrong at the end of the day. So I gotta give it to Nate. That's
oh man.
I'm sorry. That's I know.
Whatever.
Pirates are cool. I know that we want to.
Well fought.
Yes. Well fought. Great debate. I learned a lot today.
Yeah. Yes. I hope everybody learned a lot today. I learned a lot today.
Where can they follow you?
Yes.
Oh,
Chris,
yes.
Promote the hell out of yourself.
All right. So I'll give you two. You can follow me, Chris Deshawn, on Instagram. That's Chris, CHRIS, 2_ Deshawn. I also have a cooking comedy channel on Instagram called The Reject Chef. Cook BuzzFeed style videos, but on crack. It's crazy. We get wild on there. And we have I do comedy shows too. We do comedy, Reject Chef comedy, perform all over the city out here, mainly Brooklyn now, but yeah.
Cool. I mean, this is good. Okay,
cool.
So as we're filming this, this is during COVID.
Yes.
So it's really hard to be on shows right now. I mean, kind of. So yeah, it's kind of hard to plug shows right now.
Yeah.
But in the future, I'm sure we might have you back on.
I would love
to.
For sure.
Plug
I love that.
a show.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You want to promote anything?
I'm going to be at my house later.
Yes.
If you want to just come through, I'll do a show there. You can follow me at Miles_Miller comedy _ comedy at Instagram. And that's it for me.
Yeah. You can follow me at Nolf Comedy. And if you have a suggestion for an episode you'd like to see, if you're a history buff like us, DM us.
Yes.
Well, I get one DM a month. So
yeah, we do have a Instagram called Nevermind The Facts.
Yeah, we have a website too.
Yes,
nevermindthefacts.com. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for being here.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Cool.